Okay, so I have my application up and running. Go click through the navigation, there's the feed, the goals, the profile, and more. This is where there's going to be different settings and stuff. Hopefully I get that done next week. As you can see, I've already got my database populated with a few things. Um, but we can just go through this one more time. You add an activity, distance, and time. And then there it is. It shows up 43 miles, 12 minutes. It's kind of absurd, but still, it works. And it adds it to the top of the list. But what I updated is now it actually pulls in my user profile goal. So I've got my goal of 30 miles, and then it adds up the current miles for the week, 69. That's kind of a funny coincidence. But as you go through that, what I want it to end up doing is to actually show another one of these chart. I'm using Canvas.js right here to show the different activities as well. It populates or pulls it from the database and shows it in a graph. But I also want to show a percentage of, 26 out of 30 miles as like a donut chart or a pie chart or something. I haven't quite figured out how to get it to work. And then, of course, it shows the time per week as well. The next step of that would be to get the profile to update with the trash talk that I want to get working. So I spent a lot of time kind of refactoring this and making it look usable and getting the code to work. I'll pull this over here so you can see it. Okay, so the biggest thing with this was the routes. I had to go back through and change like all my routes. Oops, where are we going? Or not my routes, excuse me, my views. So resources, views, pages. So yeah, I had to go back through and do a lot of CSS and get that stuff to work. And then also, as I was going through my different pages, let's see, where's the feed? There we go. Nope, profile. I had to go and get that profile information, so I had to go back through and use this user controller to create all my different stuff here. Where are we going? I'm not sure where it is. Users, public resource, database. There we go. So I had to change my migrations and add a couple things to the user activities table and to the users table. And that's the part where I haven't got everything to work quite right. But the weekly goal is what I added. So that's the parameter that we're using to pull in that weekly goal number and update it dynamically. And then in the users activities, I add the comments, which is eventually going to be on the feed section. When you click on an individual activity, it takes you to it. So eventually the comments are going to be in down here. And I haven't quite figured out how to get the database set up for that. I know that I have to make it a table within another table, or merging the two tables together, but I haven't figured out how to do that on SQLite. So that's my project for Monday. But it'll have the comments here. You'll be able to add comments, edit or delete comments based off of your ID, and then right here we're going to get a little active, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many comments are on the on this specific activity. It'll show up and it'll be tied to this activity. And then you'll also be able to give kudos, thumbs ups, likes, whatever you want to call it. And then this is the burn activity that I want. So as you complete more goals, what I want it to have is your profile here as like, so you actually get your 30 out of 30, then you would get, a certain amount of burn points, and then you could go in and burn your friends with those points, but you can only get those if you actually complete your goals type of thing. So that's it. That's all I got so far.